Dear Diary, we're still doing the painting. And I'm not doing too bad, so let's have a look at what I'm doing. Oh, sitting back, having a look. Gotta do that. Here's Clive, sat in front of John Plampin. Because he's doing a Thomas Gainsborough, and I'm having a go at Rubens. So, hope you've been enjoying these episodes. They're a bit more in-depth than normal, but I think if you're serious about painting, then probably help you out. If you've not seen anything as big as this, as in a project as big as this, watching me sped up here. I'm using Cadmium Red Deep again, water mixable oils, as always, and I'm working on the red parts. I was quite surprised when the Cadmium Red Deep looked so close to the colour, actually. Luck would have it, I was messing around with it in a 3-colour challenge and thought, ooh, perfect. It's perfect. So, as you can see on this bit of red, I didn't trace as much as I did on the other, so a lot of it I'm having to paint in and try and get it about the same. Always about the same, never exact. Too hard for me to get it exact, so about the same. That's what I think in my head when I'm painting it. I'm trying my best to get it as close as possible, but about the same. So yeah, I'm using the Cadmium Red Deep, and I'm using black, Ivory Black, and it just works, seems to work for these bits perfectly, and I get a fairly close colour. So with this, I'm looking for the red first, and I thought I'll just stick in the red first, and then I can start doing the darker bits afterwards. And I was really looking forward to this bit, actually, because the first bit of the red area was working so well, and it was really starting to come together as a picture. So I thought, well, if I do these other 2 red bits, then I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to completion. I say closer to completion, I'm nowhere near. But I'm getting closer. Each time I sit down and paint, I do another piece of the painting, and it's like doing a jigsaw. Eventually, there'll be nothing more for me to do, and it'll be done. And then I can sit back and have a look and go, well, what did I learn, basically? What did I learn from doing this painting? And I've got to say, so far I've learned a lot from doing this painting. It tests you. Not only does it test your painting skill, it tests your mental skill. I mean, I've mentioned, I think, in the last diary that I really struggled at the idea of doing a painting over a long period of time. I wanted to always get it done in one sitting, and some things you just can't paint like that. And I think I watched a diary episode, actually, of another artist, a local artist to me, and his paintings were amazing, and he said that some of his paintings have taken him over a year. I thought to myself when I was watching it, over a year? How can you spend that much time on a painting? I mean, surely. I've been watching Bob Ross, he does them in half an hour. Less than half an hour. And of course, I was a little bit naive on what you do, what's involved in a complex painting. I mean, I only just started watching Bob Ross, so I didn't realise what was involved in a bigger picture, a more traditional approach, and I was, and I couldn't believe it, and it sort of opened my eyes to doing longer paintings, and then I started working on little projects of my own to do something more complex, as well as doing the Bob Ross method, because then I realised, wait, now I can do 2 methods. I could paint over a period of time, technically studio style painting, And also, I could do paintings quickly, and considered that, like the Bob Ross method or other alla prima methods, which is what it is really. It's a way of painting quickly and all in one go, alla prima. So then I was like, well, if I can do both, then theoretically if I went out and did a sketch of somewhere, I could use one method, and then I could bring it back into the studio and spend more time in it, and that'd be the other method of painting, doing it over a lot of days. And I was like, wow, this is a real breakthrough. Oh wait, they've been doing that for years. That's actually how they did it. And I guess when you don't know anything, you think you're making breakthroughs, when it's just reality of it is that's how they did it. And one of the first art books I got, actually, was it the first one? Well, one of the ones that really made me realise their method was a Constable book on his paintings, and it had a lot of his sketches in the book. And I was like, oil sketches? Well, so that's how they did it. So I'm not thinking of something new, I'm just thinking of a method that they did. And, yeah. It's funny, that is, when you think you've thought of something amazing and new, and then you realise, yeah, they've been doing that for ages. Someone else has thought of that, 300, 400, 500 years before you. It's just you didn't go to art school, so you wouldn't know. But hey, it doesn't matter. Every day is art school for me. I'm always learning, so it doesn't matter. So I'll just put a bit of white on, because now I'm aiming for my highlights. I do like doing highlights. So I'm using two brushes again. If you've seen me painting the other parts, then you'll know I go for one light, one dark, and then that makes it easier for painting, because you can quickly switch brushes, and if you make a mistake, you can pick your dark brush and then go over it again. And then just keep working back and forth, and it seems to work quite well. I've been doing it like that now for a while, using multiple brushes, dark and light, and I actually got that idea from Bob Ross in one of his episodes, where he says, oh, use one brush for light and one brush for dark, and then you save time on brush cleaning, and he was right. So yeah, I'm just looking, my head's going, the reference picture, the painting, reference picture, painting, always back and forth, and you need to keep looking back and forth as much as possible, because then you get it right. You don't want to just go, my painting, and just paint, then have a look and go, oh, I've done that wrong. It's always and that's the way to paint everything, really. Have a good look, do a bit of painting, have a good look, do a bit of painting. That's my acting skills done. Yeah, so this painting, this long painting, is such a challenge for me, and it's funny when you do challenges like this, challenging your skills, and it gets more addictive. Because I've got another painting ready, another hard one. Well, for me anyway, I consider it hard. Some of you out there will probably do it easy, but for me it's hard. And I got it, and I printed it out, and I got my canvas ready, and it's in the corner of my eye, and I keep looking at it, thinking, God, I want to start that, and I'm considering starting that as well as doing this one and doing side by side maybe, or keep switching over. So I've done that bit. I'm happy with that for now, and now I'm changing my picture around, and I get the other picture going. What's going on? Why is nothing happening? I must be messing around with masking tape and cutting it out and stuff. I think that's what I did actually. I'm just lining it up. That's what I try and do when I'm putting pictures on, is I try and line it up with the area that I'm painting, either horizontally or diagonally. Not diagonally, horizontally or vertically. I try and line them up just so I've got a bit better chance of getting it. So there we go, I've stuck that bit on. And this is another reason why I have to wait for areas to dry, because I'm always sticking these little pictures onto the board. I think I said canvas a few times, but I'm actually using board. I'm painting on MDF. Triple primed MDF, but I triply primed. If you watch the first episode, you'll see my process of getting this started, and then to get to here, and here we go. Look, putting in darks. For some reason, for this area, in my head, I thought I need to do darks. I need to get the darks in, and then I can go on to the lighter red afterwards. I mean, I put a little bit in, but I was thinking dark, and where in the other bit, I was thinking light first. So my head must be making calculations on the go. I'm always thinking. And the other thing about doing these sort of paintings, I don't think of anything else but painting. I mean, I have music on, I'm listening to music, but it's just this picture. Just got to get this picture right. Got to put the paint on in the right areas and watch it unfold really in front of myself, and just keep looking, keep checking, and filling it in. Yeah, as I was doing this, I remember thinking, looking at that hand above, thinking, how am I going to paint that bit? That bit's going to be a bit hard. And and it is. See, hands are hard. Because there's so many fingers and thumb on it. 4 fingers and a thumb. I mean, it's not easy, is it? Especially if you're making hands up. Whoa. You have to be really good at anatomy and stuff. I'm okay at making cartoon hands. So I'm just putting in these folds, and then I'm looking at areas for, like, I used areas on the reference picture, like how far down the finger goes and is it lined up with that, and then I use the angle of the picture and I use my brush and just go over it and then come down. And this is why you line it up, because it gives you a little bit of an advantage then for the areas. I'm putting this dark in. I really like the shadows because they've got bits of red in. I just like it. Yeah, I think that's about it for this bit. I think I've not done too bad really. I can see angles that are wrong. I can see things that are not quite right. Oh, out of shot. I'm just fixing a fold there was a fold that created an M. If you look at the last episode, there's an M in red in the sleeve, and I was thinking to myself, that's not right. There shouldn't be an M there, not so clearly, and the fold needed to be changed slightly. The M is there, but the way the fold wasn't quite right. I haven't really explained that very well, but never mind. So there we go, we're coming on, and now we're moving into I started filling in the black areas of the dress. So Ivory Black, and just filling those in. Underneath as well. Not quite sure what happened there. I think I cleaned that brush and reused it because I covered some of the red up, and then I was like, oops, and then I had to repaint. See, we don't make mistakes because everything can be rectified. There's no such thing as a mistake in this painting. I can't make a mistake because I can always fix it. And when you're painting in layers, you can do that. You're just fixing stuff all the time. And the better you are at painting, the less fixing you have to do, really. So I just keep moving my head, like I said, looking at the reference, looking at this, looking at that, looking at reference, looking at the picture. I smoothed out the black again because it shines right in my face. I've had to put a black curtain up over my window because it was shining too strong. Here we go. We've got some raw umber, and we're ready for this next bit. So the red is looking nice. The raw umber is out, ready for painting this fold area. Again, I've not traced enough information for me to get this done quickly. And I thought to myself, oh, I should have traced all those folds, and then I wouldn't have to paint as many. Yeah, I was just testing my colour here, seeing if a bit of white in the raw umber would create the colour of that, and it's pretty close, although it's got more of a yellow tint, I think, on the picture. So here we go with the raw umber. So pure raw umber is quite dark, actually. If you've ever used raw umber, you'd know that anyway. I'm using a smaller brush just to get around that red because I didn't want to mess it up too much. It seemed to work actually, using a small brush to do that line and then using a big brush to go across it again. Because I've got something to aim for, I suppose. I don't know. But it worked. I also, as I was filling this in, I didn't realise I was making it too wide. Because I suddenly went, oh no, something not right. But I still didn't work out what I was doing wrong. I think I worked it out in the end, but it took me a bit of time. I was like, oh, that's not right. It's not traced right. Yeah, I decided I'll just fill it in with brown, and then I can use the white to highlight it afterwards, because that looks like there's white on there. I would have said he would have probably Not really sure. I think he might have used a mid-tone and blocked it in, and then done the lights and darks afterwards. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm always trying to think, if I was Rubens, and I was an amazing painter, and I've painted lots of paintings in this method before, how would I do it? I don't think he would have done it the way I'm doing it, to be honest. I don't know. But we can only do our best, that's all we can do. And then we can just keep sitting back, having a look, and seeing if we're getting it right. There's a reason why I made those t-shirts that say sitting back, having a look. It's not just because I say it a lot. It's because when you wear it, it makes you think, sit back, having a look. And when I wear it, reminds me to say it and do it. So then the paintings come out better because you're looking at it. It only takes a little bit of a look like this, and you're out of your painting looking. So yeah, we're filling in the brown area. I'm looking for the darks, and then I sort of just block it in, and then I realise I'm losing it. I need some light. I don't want to lose this completely. And then dark. So light and dark brush again. There's a reason for the light and dark brush. It does make it easier. It really does. Especially for oils. Of course, acrylics is a bit different, but for oils this method's perfect. So I was trying to be fancy there and do it all in one stroke, but I pressed a bit too hard. Because I'm trying to be a better painter than I am. I'm like, well, I'm trying to copy a Rubens, I should be a better painter than I actually am, but yeah. Gotta still try and but I was feeling pretty good. I was feeling pretty good at this point. I was enjoying it. I was listening to some classical music. When I say classical, I mean cheesy hits. And I listen to a lot of that when I'm painting now. Cheesy music. Oh, I got up and walked off. I didn't know I did that. Maybe I went to get a drink. I'm not sure. But yeah, at this point, I'm really starting to see it come together. And like I said, every time you do a little bit, you see it comes together a little bit more, and you start to feel a bit more confident. The more it comes together, and the more strokes I do on a picture, the more confident I get, actually. So when you look at that area, there's a lot more light than dark, so I'm heading for lighter colours. And I noticed it needed a bit of a yellow tint, so I think the Naples Yellow came out again, because it has sort of a goldness to Naples Yellow. I'm really liking Naples Yellow. It's becoming a favourite. It's funny, doing paintings like this. It makes me feel like a professional. I know people like take the mick out of amateur painters and say, "Oh, just an amateur." But what does amateur actually mean? It means they do it for the love of painting, and that's what I do it for. I do it because I love it. I really enjoy it, and I can't get enough of it. Even if I do a bad painting, I sit back, have a look, and go, well, I need to do better. But it doesn't matter, does it? As long as you're practicing and learning and remembering what went wrong or what went right, because even in a bad picture, some things have gone right, and they're things to remember, to add into your next painting. I always think that. You have to think like that. Think positive. Be positive about your painting, your art, and always learning. Always learning. Always trying to improve. I'm always trying to get better, and I always will be. Even when I'm an old painter and I'm an old master. We can only dream. And I'm painting in my rocking chair. I'll be telling myself I'm going to get better still. I'm always going to get better. Because you can't stop painting. You can't stop getting better. I'm sure it doesn't matter if you've been oil painting for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. I don't think you can stop getting better. I think you're always going to get better. You're always going to learn things about yourself and about your art. I know I've come on leaps and bounds since I first started. And I have some proof of that. I found some old paintings that I did, and I get sent pictures from beginners and asking me on Facebook what I think, and I always think to myself, practice, 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 because that's all I do. You just need to practice. But I'm amazed how good some of these pictures are that I get sent, and then they say I've only been painting a few months, and I'm like, well, very nice, better than me when I was painting only a few months. Some people send me pictures that are better than I did after trying to paint for a year, and they've only been painting a few months, or it's only their first or second picture. I'm like, yeah, remember when I had painted a few months and mine was awful. But we get better. More we practice. I don't believe in talent. The reason I don't believe in talent is because, I didn't have any natural talent. And eventually I do, I think, not bad paintings. I mean, they're not paintings that are going to go in museums or win competitions, but they're not bad, are they? I'm saying that to myself, to give myself confidence, because I've got to do some more of this. I've got more painting to do. I need to give myself confidence, tell myself that I'm a master, or heading that way at least. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. If you tell yourself you're not going to be able to do it, you're not going to be able to do it. You've lost the battle straight away. But if I tell myself, I'm really good, I'm going to be able to do this, be realistic. Don't tell yourself you're the next Rubens. Just say, I can do this, I can really do this, I can do this painting, no problem. I've practiced long enough, I've got it in me, and, we're doing more practicing. So sometimes when I load my brush, I wipe my brush on the palette to get some of the paint off, because sometimes I don't want a fully loaded brush. I don't want tons of paint to come off. I just want a little bit to tone the colour that's already there. So that's a good way of doing it, is to load the brush and then unload it in a way, to wipe it on your palette to get some of the paint off. So I'm looking at detail, shapes. Like I said, I can always fix something, I can always change something. I'll put the brushes down, I'm zooming out, and I'm done for this episode. So yeah, I'm getting somewhere. I'm I'm on to the next stage. I know there's a lot I need to do. I need to repaint the sky. I need to work on the face again. I need to do all the rest of the material and folds, and I've got a lot to do. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this diary, and thanks very much for watching. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and subscribing to my channel and liking it and sharing it, and special thanks to my patrons who help and support it. If you want to become a patron, you can go to my Patreon page and you can donate as little as $1 a month and help me do projects like this, and hopefully my advancement will be your advancement, because you get to watch me advance while you advance. Maybe you'll overtake me. Well, you probably will. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you at another episode. Cheers, bye.